What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce. Today is Wednesday, March 10th. Nope, March 9th of 2022. It is time for another comic book speculation recommendations. The video where I look up into the future at final order cutoff and new comic book day of next week. Now, why do I do this? I do this so that way you guys have enough time to put in your pre-orders for your final order cutoff books, but also so that way you guys have enough time to reach out to your local LCS and tell them, hey, I was watching Bruce and Stephanie Comics comic book speculation or recommendation. I like what he had to say. I did my own research, so I would like to pick up a couple extra copies of these books so that way I can start and make this hobby fund itself. Now it's time for the reminders. There are two that I give you guys each and every single week, and the first one up is, guys, you have to do your own research. I am going to suggest some books to you guys today that I think has good speculation, but what you guys need to do is go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself. Because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. Not my money, your money. Last but not least, there are delays with comics, so sometimes a book will show up multiple times on these videos in final order cutoff or new comic book day, and that is because their release date got changed for some reason or another. Alright guys, those are my two reminders. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll remind you guys about the 2K giveaway that's going on right now and how to enter our membership program that you guys can join right now. And also just remind you guys about our live stream that happens every other Tuesday. Alright guys, let's not waste any more time and jump into all the books that have speculation coming up on this weekend's final order cutoff, which is March 13th for your DC and Scout books and March 14th for your Marvel and all the other indie titles. You guys know exactly how we start both of our final order cutoff and our new comic book day spec list. We always start with our cover lover picks of the week. These are books that I think you guys might want to pick up based on the cover alone to make a few extra bucks. And the first one up is Elektra number 100, the 1 in 25 Jen Bartel cover. Now, this cover is beautiful. I personally don't really like it that much, but the reason why I added it to this list, because Daredevil Woman Without Fear number 1, the Bartel cover, did really well. And that's another book I really didn't like, but people love it. You can get it on eBay now for about $120, which is crazy because that's only a 1 in 25 as well. But guys, this book is one you might want to consider picking up for speculation because again, it's Bartel. Bartel always does well on the secondary market, and this cover actually is pretty gorgeous. The way she did Elektra's face is absolutely gorgeous. And the second book I think you guys might want to consider picking up based on the cover alone is Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse number 2, the Peach Momoko 1 in 100 design variant. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is that it is a 1 in 100, which is cool because it's gonna make this cover rare, but man, I want this cover for my collection. I think it's so gorgeous. Peach Momoko crushed this cover. My buddy from Cole's Comics Claims is gonna want this cover because he collects all Gwen covers for his daughter, but man, this 1 in 100 is selling for $200 on Black Kate Comics right now. $200 just to get the 1 in 100. But this cover is gorgeous, and if you guys can score one for that $100 mark, you guys should be able to make a couple extra dollars on this book because it is just so stinking gorgeous. Now that the cover lover books are out of the way, we're going to jump into all the books that have speculation coming out on this final order cutoff. Now, these are not suggestions that I think you guys should pick up every single book. For final order cutoff, I go over every book that has even a little bit of speculation. There's not a list out there for final order cutoff. You guys can check the Key Collector app, and there isn't one. So I put this list together for you guys so that way you guys know what books have a little bit of spec on final order cutoff. And then at the very end of this list, I will tell you my 1, 2, or 3, maybe even more books that I think you guys might want to consider ordering a few extra copies of on final order cutoff. All right, guys, now with that out of the way, let's go over all the books that have speculation. All right, kicking off this list is Batman Beyond New Year number 1. This is the first appearance of the Sword, and this is also the origin of Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis, a 6-issue year 1 story. Next up, Flashpoint Beyond number 0. 6-issue limited series follows follows this Zero issue sequel to Flashpoint, and also this is the first mention of the Clockwork Killer. Next up, Black Panther number 5. This is the second appearance of Tosin, a character that Marvel states will change the world of Wakanda. Cover art inspired by Ultimate Fallout 4. Next up, King Conan number 506. This is the origin of Toth Oman. Next up, Knights of X number 1. This is the premiere issue featuring the Knights of X, led by Captain Britain, which is Betsy Braddock, and also the team will likely be introduced in part or full in Excalibur number 26, the series finale. So you also might want to put that book on your radar as well. Next up, Miles Morales Spider-Man number 37. Potential new characters are teased as Miles Morales visits alternate dimensions. Next up, which is the last book, Vampire Slayer number 1. This is Vampire Slayer Buffy. That's right, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This solicitation references a new Slayer to stand in for Buffy. What happened to Buffy? I don't know. I don't read Buffy the Vampire Slayer. All right, guys, now with all those books out of the way, what is my final order cutoff pick of the week? So funny thing happened between writing the script for my final order cutoff pick yesterday, which was March 8th of 2022, and today, the book that I had picked for my spec pick of the week was delayed, so it's no longer on final order cutoff, and so I had to pick a new spec pick of the week. There's no books that had speculation that I think you guys should consider picking up extra copies of, but if you guys have the extra cash and you could pick up that Spider-Gwen-Gwenverse number 2, the 1 in 100 ratio variant, that would be my book that I would go with. Now the risk with this book is that the buy-in is going to be at least $100, and now if you buy it from Black K Comics, like I said previously, it's $200, and the chance to make a profit on that is going to be very small. You might actually take a loss on that book, but this cover is so stinking cool. I think it might do well, especially if you can get it for that $100 buy-in. But guys, hedge your bets, do your research. All right, guys, that is it. Now let's jump into my new comic book day spec picks for March 16th of 2022. Before we jump into my spec picks for New Comic Book Day, I do want to remind you guys that you need to download and use the Key Collector app. It is such a key feature for speculation, and it's how I make this video happen. It's what I use to find all the speculation on Final Order Cutoff, and I use their future keys list that they have on the app right now. It's also what I use to pick what books that I think you guys might want to consider picking up extra copies of for New Comic Book Day spec. It makes it so easy. Download the app, use the app. It's a great tool for all of us speculators. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump into my New Comic Book Day spec picks. Alright guys, what are my cover lover picks for this upcoming New Comic Book Day? I want to tell you right now, there's not a single one. There's not a single cover that I think you guys should consider picking up for speculation. Now this is a first. This has never happened. There's always one book that I think you guys might want to consider picking up for spec based on the cover alone. But this week, there was nothing. There was no gorgeous covers that I was like blown away. So let's jump into my spec pick for this upcoming New Comic Book Day. There were 11 books on the Key Collector app that had speculation, and I picked one. That's right guys. One book, and it's a long shot. So let's find out what that book is. So the book that I think you guys might want to consider picking up a couple extra copies if they're available at your local LCS, but don't take any books out of people's hands if they want this book. But if there's extras on those shelves, guys, pick this up. And that book is Slumber number 1 from Image Comics. Now let me read you the synopsis of this book, and you guys tell me if you think it's as primed for a streaming platform as I think it does. Nathan Fox Stenton is a nightmare hunter, a dream detective. She runs a shoddy back alley business where she helps clients sleep at night by entering their dreams and killing their nightmares. But Stetson's past comes back to haunt her when she tracks down a literal living nightmare, a serial killer that murders people in their sleep. Slumber is an ongoing series from the twisted minds of Tyler Burton Smith. He wrote King's Fury or Child's Play, and rising star artist Vanessa Cardinale. Now with this story happening within people's dreams, just think of the crazy things that they could do on the small screen on TV. It would be so stinking cool seeing all these crazy nightmares play out and see this person, Nathan, which is a boy's name, but it's a girl. Who cares though? This is so cool. I think it's primed for a streaming platform. I'm going to pick up a couple extra copies if they're available at my local LCS and just see what happens. Hold on to them and just see what happens. Now, hedge your bets, guys. Do not just take every book off the shelf because this is not on Final Order Cutoff anymore. But maybe go on Midtown Comics and see if there's any extras on there. Or My Comic Shop. Places like that where we know they order a lot. Just don't go taking all the books from your local LCS because there might be someone who actually wants to read this book and not speculate on it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Now here are my quick reminders about what we have going on the channel. We have a 2K giveaway happening right now. There's a giveaway for subscribers and there's also a giveaway for members. members. That's right, guys. I'm gonna link the video up here so that way you guys can see the prizes. But also, if you guys are not members, why not? It's only $4.99 a month, and you guys get access to this members-only giveaway, which is amazing. There is a one-of-a-kind comic book in there that was made just for us to give it to you guys. It's a one-of-a-kind. There's only one copy made ever. It's amazing. Guys, I hope you guys will consider entering this giveaway for this book because this book is so special. There's also some special perks for being a member to this channel. There's membership badges. There's membership icons that you guys can use during our live streams. There's also a end of the month giveaway that we do for our members only. It's a mystery box that has about $50 worth of comic book related items, and I've started to pick up those items, and I'm going to show off a couple of those items right now to you guys. Now, I've shown this one off to you guys already. It's a little Funko Pop of Dark Knight's Death Metal Batman playing the guitar. I think it's really freaking cool. But I also picked up these books at my local LCS this weekend. It is Strange Academy number 15, the first cover appearance of Gaslamp, which is about a $10 book right now. And I also picked up this Raza cover of Moon Knight number 7, which is absolutely gorgeous. This was actually in a spec video not that long ago, and again, is about a $10 book. These books plus this Funko Pop are the start of that mystery box. Now, the rest will be a mystery to you guys. Again, it's a total of about $50 in value, and one lucky member will win this box at the end of the month. And there's only 4 members right now, so you guys have an amazing chance to win this box. Last but not least, we do our live stream on this channel every other Tuesday. We did one last night, so we're not going to have one this upcoming week, but we'll have one the following week. It is called Bruce and Stephanie Comics Live with Friends. We hang out with our buddy Cole, Steven, and hopefully next week, Lee from Whack Comics will be able to join us. It's a 1-hour live stream where we just talk about comic book things and hang out with you guys, the community. So I hope you guys will stop by, have a good time, maybe learn something new about Stephanie and I, Cole, Lee, or Steven Hayner. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys have not subscribed yet, get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Alright guys, I will see you guys next Monday on Must Have Pickups for this upcoming new comic book day. Alright guys, have a good day. Peace!